Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to another video of Salesforce Makes Sense. This is Himanshu and we are continuing to understand and learn Apex from our Salesforce Development Masterclass. This is pretty much probably the last or the second last video of this curriculum. And in this video, before jumping into it, we started understanding Apex Anywhere, where we talked about how you can call Apex from flows in the previous tutorial. And in this tutorial, I think you already know it, but I had to put it because it was a use case, how you can call Apex from triggers, right? We have done an entire trigger curriculum within this Apex series, but yeah, let's close with this call Apex from triggers use case. The use case is every time a task is created with a due date in the past, update the due date to 12 days from today. So what I'm trying to do with this 3-4 videos here is how you can actually connect Apex with different things. We started off with Visualforce, we connected it with Aura, with LWC, with flows, and now with triggers. So you kind of understand, okay, Apex is the backbone. The front end technology can be anything. Actions could be any automation tools, but the database side of the world, the server side of the world is going to stay Apex. And that's why Apex is very important in your Salesforce development journey. You knowing it well, you understanding it well, you being able to solution a certain thing in a way it helps business is the key. All right, so on that note, calling Apex from triggers, what are we going to do? We are going to write a trigger and then we are going to use the trigger Apex framework to call a Apex class and handle our logic. Now, every time a task is created, again, going back to our basics, on what object do we need to create this trigger? We want to create this on the task. What is the event? It is insert, right? Now we have to check whether the due date is in the past, which is less than today. We have to simply update the due date to 12 days from today. Very straightforward. If you want to pause the video here, go ahead and pause it. I'll encourage you to do that and then do it yourself and let me know if you were able to complete it without me helping you at all or without you seeing the code that I am writing. Just put a thumb, put that code or probably put that message that I was able to do it. And yeah, that would be great to know. For those of you who are going to follow along, we'll go ahead and say Command Shift P or Control Shift P. We'll create an Apex trigger. I'll call it the task trigger. And I think we already have a task trigger. So I'm just going to open it. What do we have here? We have an after update code. This is basically my org. So you might not have it here or maybe even you might have it here. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a before insert event. All right. I'm going to say if trigger dot is before and trigger dot is insert. This is me bifurcating what I want to do as part of this particular event only and not as part of the other events. Correct? So I hope you understand this nomenclature and why am I putting this checks. What do I want to do? I actually want to call a task handler. So I have to check whether I already have a task handler or not. I think I don't have it. So I'm just going to go ahead and create it. I'll say task trigger handler. All right. And I'm going to just keep this class available here. And I'm going to add a method that would basically be public static void handle activities before insert. All right. I'm just creating this method and this method is supposed to accept list of tasks in new tasks variable. All right. That's my method name. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to call it from my trigger file. This is the task trigger handler class. I'll just say task trigger handler dot handle activities before insert and I'll pass trigger dot new. As simple as that. Done. The framework is set up. The task trigger handler class is created. Let's deploy it to the org first of all. The trigger handler deployed fine. The file is created. And now what I want to do is I also want to deploy the task trigger file. I have to deploy the handler first because or else it will not find this reference. Correct? Cool. So that is done. Now what I want to do, I actually want to check if the task created is in the past. How do I check that? I iterate over my task records that have come in this trigger.new variable, which is new tasks. All right, I'll put a space between the colon and a comma. What I need to do is I need to check if each task dot. Now, what is that field that I need to check? Let's go back to Salesforce and let's see If I go to task, you have a due date field, right? Due date field. Let's open this here and see what is the API name. The due date API name. Object manager, fields and relationships, and then you have a due date. So this due date is nothing but activity date. All right. So I'm going to go back to my code and I'm going to say if each task.activity date is less than system.today. All right. If that's the case, what I want to do is I want to simply say that the each task.activity date should be system.today plus 12. That's it. Let's try deploying it. Deployed fine. This is deployed fine, right? All right, awesome. Let's deploy it one more time by removing the comments. Only if it is less than today's date is when it is going to add 12 days to it. Okay, let's go back to Salesforce. Let's go to a task list view, refresh our page, and this is going to run only on insert scenario. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new task. So I'll go ahead into this caret icon, new task, and I'm going to assign it to myself. This will be not started. The subject is I need to send a letter, and the due date is 18th, which is one day prior to today. The priority is fine. I'll go ahead and say save. What happens when I say 18th December as the send letter task? It becomes 31st December automatically. All right. So the trigger is working perfectly fine, and it was not about the trigger use case or this particular use case. The idea here was to show you how you are now able to actually, I think you already know it, but you are able to actually call Apex from triggers. So a trigger is also kind of Apex, but trigger is a specific module that lets you handle events, create, insert, update. But Apex is a general coding framework that you can use along with your triggers. All right. What have you been able to do? You have been able to link your Apex class and call it specifically for a specific trigger event. And you can do it for pretty much any and every event. Okay. What a bit better you could do here is you could actually call a task trigger helper class and say update due date if in past, and pass this new tasks value to it. Right? And now this task trigger helper is nothing but a new Apex class. And that's where you write your entire logic. That's where you have each of your methods. So you move this, but you actually pick this up, move this code here. This is the method name. The code stays here like this. All right. And you get rid of everything from here, the functional part. You only keep it modular. Now everything that you want to do as part of before insert, you can list it down here. List all those methods here. So that creates one more layer for understanding and readability and maintenance. So before insert, not everything will be written here. You will actually have methods and each method will be written here. So it's a trigger handler helper framework used in most of the projects, many projects. Okay. Not sensible to write the code here. Not sensible sometimes to write the code here, and more or less always sensible to keep it in this particular layer. Kind of makes it easy. Okay. And if tomorrow you have to actually sequence it out, let's say you have 10 different functions and you want to do the first thing first, the third thing third, and the fifth thing fifth, you can actually maintain that order by calling these methods accordingly. This is method 2, this is method 3, this is method 4. You can actually sequence them out here. All right. That's also a benefit. All right, great. That is all for this particular use case. Pretty short and sweet. And I hope you are now able to understand the power of Apex. That completes my curriculum for Salesforce Apex. I'll have one more video after this, wherein I'll talk about certain things. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. That kind of closes my Apex Salesforce Development Masterclass. Do comment Apex makes sense, or just put your comments here based on how your entire experience was in terms of this entire curriculum. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one final video before I wrap up the Salesforce Development Masterclass. All right, awesome. See you in the next one. Bye.